Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode. Over the next few episodes, I am going to be diving into how your soul communicates, how it shows up, how it tells you you are on the right track, and how we discover our soul purpose or life mission or whatever it is you've been searching for. Now, I want to tell you the truth about this as well, because we might have certain ideas of how things are meant to pan out and what it's all meant to look like. And sometimes it can be the furthest from the truth than you can actually think. Now, when you think of your soul purpose, I have so many people following along in this soulful-badass group and in my programs, and people who've maybe been searching for their life purpose. They feel like there's something more, there's something really burning inside of them that they know they need to be doing. But they spend a lot of time searching for that one thing. And your soul often doesn't come down like a big bang and go, this is it, ding, 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 ding. This is what you've been looking for. And yet we are wanting that to happen. We tend to want somebody to just turn up one day and go, this is it. This is what you were always meant to be doing. This is what it was all about. But the beauty of living this life path and living this journey as a soul is that you are meant to be living it. You are meant to be getting involved. You are meant to be trying things. You are meant to be feeling it into whether that feels good or whether it doesn't. It's not about having that perfect solution show up on our door and that will be when we act, or that will be when we move forward. Now, in the last episode, I talked about how you hold yourself back. And often we hold ourselves back because we think there's some big mission we should be doing. Now, don't get me wrong, the mission is there, the life path is there, the life purpose is there. But often you'll find that out later in life when you can join up the dots. When you can go, oh my God, I'm doing that thing that I've loved to do for years. And actually, that's my purpose in life, isn't it? That's what it was all about. But until you start diving in and trying things, you can never connect the dots of what it was all about. So this is where I'm here to help guide you and navigate through these scenarios so that you can start actually living life now and start living that soul purpose without you even realizing it. Because believe me, your soul knows the direction of where you are meant to be going. You've sat there in your logical mind, which is one of the archetypes, which we will dive into at some point in these episodes. But that logician archetype has been keeping you stuck, keeping you stagnant, because you have actually not been following through on what your soul's been presenting in front of you. Because your logician's going, well, it's got to be bigger than that. It's got to be more sense than that. Surely it's meant to have more steps in the dance than this will have. So your logician might have been holding you back and keeping you in this stagnant, still space, keeping you from your dreams, essentially, which is what the ego does love to do, but holding you back from where you're meant to be going. And you will never miss what is for you. That is the beauty of this. But you also have a chance in moving that timeline forward. So if you've been thinking, what is my soul mission? What is my purpose in this life? Can I just give you a massive hats off and a hell yes? Because you are awakened to that thought. You are awakened to the fact that there is more. We live in this 3D world, which has been created from a lot of lack, a lot of structure, a lot of logic, and actually it's quite broken when we look at it. We live in this lack mindset where we think everything has to come from the security of a job, and we often hold ourselves from a soul's perspective back because we want so much more. We have this craving inside of us. We have this niggle, this nudge that just wants to live a better life. And often we don't know how, and we think we've got to find this big soul mission. So our soul is coming up with those niggles, with that yearning, with that ache of more. So if you're feeling that, that is incredible. That means that there is more for you. because your soul wouldn't be pulling you in that direction if there wasn't. So I know it feels uncomfortable, and I know it feels frustrating, and I know you have this big mission that you want to achieve, but believe me, you will achieve it. And the fact that you've got that yearning inside you makes you different to a lot of other people. So hell yes, that is incredible. And it means that you are here for big things. So if you've doubted yourself in the past, I just want you to sit with that notion. You are here to make impact, create a new world, and you are here for big things. And how I know that is you've got that niggle inside. You've got that burning inside. It is there speaking to you. So you are here for more. Let's just put that to bed now. Let's stop doubting yourself. Let's stop telling yourself that you're not good enough, that life isn't for you, because you have the yearn. And that is how your soul will communicate to you. Your soul comes and communicates in a subtle way. It doesn't come with a big bang or an ego banging its drum like your other archetypes will. So it won't tell you you're not good enough. It won't tell you you can't do that. It won't tell you you shouldn't be doing certain things. It's subtle and it's calmer and it's nice and it works through energy. So how we feel energy is in our body. We feel it in different ways. We feel that yearning. We feel that ache. We feel like, oh my God, this cannot just be it. We feel that in our bodies. It comes through boredom, comes through lethargic means, whatever that is for you, it shows up in different ways, but it comes as a yearn, a gut instinct. Come on, you know there is more in you. So your soul will talk to you through the means of your body. It'll try and feed you energetically in different ways. So it tries to excite you. It tries to get you lit up. When there is a hell yes, your soul is zinging with excitement, and you've maybe thought of something or you've seen something that excites you, and you get that internal, oh my God, that is amazing. Zing, zing, zing. It's like your inner radar, your inner emotions start to ping inside. That is your soul going, yes, yes, yes. Now, we are trained, our ego will kick in. So we'll get that, yes, 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 zing, 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 like a little tuning fork going off, going, yes, this is amazing. And then as soon as we feel that, maybe as soon as we feel that, but often through time you can dim this down a little bit, but your ego might kick in, the other archetypes might kick in and go, that's too easy, that's not for you, that's blah blah blah, whatever it wants to tell you. And again, that is a good sign, because you have caused your ego a bit of fear, which means by following this zing is where you're going to start to step out your comfort zone. So people who follow their life path, their soul path, really step up in this life and become who they're meant to be, continuously step out of their comfort zone. So you can't stay in your comfort zone hoping everything's going to change. That's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting things to change. That isn't how it's going to work. So when you get that zing, when you get that, oh my God, yes, that is when you act. That is when you move forward. That is when you take that next step. And how your soul works is it will only give you the next step. It won't give you the full roadmap. Because if you saw the full roadmap, you would be a little bit daunted and probably not move forward at all. So try not to overthink things. Your soul communicates to you through desires. When you are going, yes, 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 that is because you desire the thing. So actually, the basic way to see how your soul communicates to you is through your desires that light you up inside. Now, there's a couple of ways to look at your desires. There's the ones that make you go, oh my God, this is incredible. And then there's the ones that go, yes, I want that because Shirley next door's got that, so I need that too. Now, there's two different types there. The one that you're competing with Shirley next door, that means that actually that's your ego talking. That's your status-driven ego coming into play, thinking you're going to miss out if somebody else has got something better than you. So that's a way to start to decipher your desires. And are they real soul-aligned desires, or are they just you're doing it because you're trying to keep up with everything else? So often when you look at your desires, you might have been living your life following desires that aren't really true to you. And we do this sometimes to make ourselves feel a certain way. Whereas when we start to understand our feelings and start to understand how our soul is guiding our feelings, what we find is that they are more energetically alight. They are really zigging, they are getting you excited, and you don't even know why. Whereas the others often will come with a level of, I need that because. And there's a different energy to that type of desire. So that's a good gauge to go, is this a desire I feel really good about, or is it a desire I am having to make me feel better about myself in some way, shape, or form? That is the two big indicators as to whether it's a soul desire or an ego-led desire. So if it's a soul desire, you're doing it because you just feel amazing about it. If it's an ego-led desire, you're doing it because it's going to make you feel better about yourself in some way, shape, or form. So your soul will bring you those desires, and half the time they probably won't make any sense. Like I always say, my journey, this journey, becoming an intuitive coach and mentor, has all come about from me going to a spiritual development class 6 years ago. It started from me going to one meditation class a week. And at that time, I never thought I would start a business. I had an amazing job. I didn't think that I could ever start a business doing intuitive work. And now look at me, a podcaster, a business owner, a coach, and looking to take this soulful badass to a global brand. Literally, everything can change by following that one niggle and nudge and that one desire. So do not overthink of how it's all going to come together in the end, because you will not know that yet. I could never have wrote what happened in my life to this point from just deciding to go to that class. It has been unreal. Everything flipped upside down, everything turned inside out, and I'm still in the best place I could ever wish to be, but I could never, ever have wrote it. So please do not overthink the steps. Take the first step. Now, once you start to take these steps, the next one shows up, and the next one shows up, and the next one shows up. And this is where you're in this amazing flow and synchronicity. So when you hear about all these people who've surrendered to the flow, what they're actually doing is just following the next step that lights them up. And that is their soul path. And down the line, now I'm here, 6 years on from that meditation class, I can join the dots. I can go, oh my God, that was all about me getting to where I am today. And the dots I am following today is all about me getting to where I'm going to be in the next 6 years. But it's took a bit of me following the dots to be able to see that and look back. So if you're at a point where you're at a point in your business, or you're at a point in your life where you're thinking you feel a bit stuck, you want to move, you want to expand, you want to grow, you might have just got to a level of success that you're thinking, this is amazing, but I know there's more. There's always more. What you can start to do is tune in. What is your soul calling you to do? You might find that you're a mega successful entrepreneur, but you're getting, drawn into going to a flower class. There might be something really random that you're thinking, well, that is so bizarre, but trust it. Trust that niggle in your soul, because that is your next step. That is the next step in the dance. Sometimes it is just to show you have some more fun, because this life was not meant to be all work and no play. But it is about following that next call of your soul and not worrying about things going wrong. Often we think, well, how's that going to work? How's that going to plan out? Am I going to fail at that? Am I going to have enough knowledge for that? Am I going to need new education for that? And you overthink before you start. Whether that's in your business, whether that's in your life, it doesn't matter. We still overthink. So whether we're putting a new program out that's just lit us up inside and we know we're going to be amazing at it, but then suddenly you get stuck and you're like, but what's the right name? What's the right price point? What's this? What's that? And we forget to go back to our soul, because the soul knows. So when you go back to the soul and you get excited about that exciting idea again, suddenly, if you stay in that level of excitement, what can start to happen is the clarity can come. The perfect name for your course can come. The perfect program price can come. Whatever that is, it can all be channeled through that excitement that you had in the first place. So often we let ourselves get too far into the detail without bringing ourselves back to the feeling that the soul felt in the first place. So remember, your desires and your feelings are that real pinch point for you to say yes or no. Whether you feel it, whether you get that zing, that level of excitement, we all have this tuning fork inside of us that tells us when something just pings and it feels right. It's about learning to listen to it. It's about learning to bring it into your natural state so that you can start to use this intelligence that is already inside of you to guide you through your life. It is not about bringing everything outside of you in. You already have this. This level of intuition is already there. It's already inbuilt. What we tend to forget is we are part of nature. We are animals. We have that instinct. We have that knowing. So when a hunter in nature has that same knowing, that same instinct, why do we think we don't have them instinctual behaviors in us? Your soul has that, and it sets it up as desire. I desire that thing. It makes me excited. So we can start to harness this energy so that you can then know the next direction of where you're meant to go. So actually, your soul mission, your soul path is just to follow the next thing that lights you up. That is all you are meant to do. And when you start to do that, and when you start to do that naturally, suddenly life gets a whole lot more magical, because then you are in this flow and synchronicity state. So I want you to start to think about your desires. I want you to start to think about the ones that you've buried down, because in the next episode, we will dive into why we bury those desires down, because we tell ourselves we're not good enough or blah, blah, blah. But actually, what are the ones that you have been burying in now? You're like, oh my God, why did I ignore that desire? Why? That's the thing that I should have been doing. So have a think, is there something that you are drawn to at the minute? Is there some creative idea that just keeps coming up and you keep trying to push it away, but it keeps coming and keeps coming? Soulful Badass was popping in my head for months before I changed this podcast. It kept coming in different ways, and I was just sitting with the energy, letting the excitement build, letting it see what it was all about. And I don't even know what the full extent of this is going to be, but I followed the nudges and I followed the niggle, and I felt into, does it feel exciting? And it really did. So once you understand what that next thing is, you step into it. You have a courageous moment. You get your 20 seconds of courage and you go for it. And the more you get used to going for it, you just become natural at this, feeling the niggle, going for it, feeling the niggle, going for it. You will become a pro, believe me. You've got this. But if you have that yearning, please don't dampen it down. Don't worry about what if, because your soul always directs you to the right path for your highest good. And when I mean highest good, that's highest abundance, highest love, everything coming into your life. There might be changes along the way that feel a bit uncomfortable, but it's always for getting you somewhere better. It is never to harm or hinder you. So please don't be scared of moving forward on this life path. Just go for it. Whatever the soul is calling you to do, that is what you are meant to be doing next. So please trust that niggle, trust those desires, and feel into it. Do you get that zing? Is your tuning fork going ding, 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 ding? And if it is, then that is your next step. I really hope this helps you start to clarify what your soul path could be, because you do not even need to know the whole of it before you start moving towards it. You will be guided by your soul. It's like you have your own internal GPS system inside. If you hand it over to your soul, it will direct you every step of the way. So give over the control, give over the direction and the map and the planning to your soul, and you do the bit where you are following the instructions that come up on the GPS. Just like you do in the car, you put your postcode in, and then suddenly it knows the route. We don't question it. We turn down. Even if we go off wrong, it redirects us. We get to where we're meant to be. So it's exactly the same with your life path. Please don't overthink it. Follow those desires and really let yourself start to step into who you're meant to be, because there is something more and you know it. So please dive into what these desires are. Let me know. Come and join me in the Soulful Badass community. I would love to hear more. And as well, if you want to join the Soulful Badass Collective, which is a group circle, every month we get together, we have a group meditation, we do group cards once a month as well, and that is your space to really connect in and drop into your soul and hear what it is calling you to do. So if you want to join the collective, that is open now as well, and all the links are in the show notes. But please just tune in. What has your soul been trying to tell you? And let me know. I would love to hear it, and I will catch you on the next episode.